I have been a range of thought and emotions this weekend as I saw the Biden administration, the White House, celebrate Pride Month with a Pride Day on the White House lawn, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, that's okay. I get you're recognizing a certain group of people, all right? They're not going to have Christian Day out there. They're not. You get the point. The thing that irritated me, and I tweeted about this, it was disgraceful, was the way they draped the flags. Now, I'm sure you're no stranger to this. Post-Millennial came out with the image here. They've got the pride flag, which I don't even know what that is. Is that like the moving forward pride flag or something? It's weird to me that they got a black and a brown stripe in there. So they went ahead and included people of color in there. It boggles the mind with whatever logic they're using. But the issue is it is prominent in the center between two American flags, between the stars and stripes, between Old Glory, if you will. Now, it's a violation of the flag code. We know that. But I didn't make a point about that, even though that is a violation of the flag code. If you are going to display the U.S. flag with another flag, the other flag has to be lower or smaller than the U.S. flag. Texas flag can be flown at the same height in Texas because Texas was once a republic. Now, there were a lot of people who thought I was going after the flag code. And by the way, the U.S. flag has to be in the middle if it's going to be draped like that. But it also has to be higher. And there were people, of course, who showed me the full picture of the U.S. flag up on top of the White House on a pole, which was not in display with the pride flag. So that doesn't matter. It's these two flags that were violating the flag code. But that's not the point. It's not the point. It's not the point. You're giving equality to a flag that, and I could say some funny things here because I said them over the weekend. I said, people died for those flags, the red, white, and blue. People died in honor of what that flag stands for. And I could say a lot of crude things about what people have done for the one in the middle, okay? It's your sexuality. And so I just thought here for a little while, I wanted to describe my sex life for you and just see if this is what you want to hear from me. Usually we have a few drinks, and then there's some kissing and some heavy petting, and then you go to second base, feel her up real good because I'm straight, and then you see if you can put your hand between her legs, and then see if you can get those pants unzipped or that dress pulled up. You get the point where I'm going. After a while, you're going to get uncomfortable with this conversation. But I'm not done. I really want you to understand my sex life. I want you to know all the things that I do. I want you to hear about the... It starts to get real uncomfortable, doesn't it? I think I'm even starting to blush here a little bit. Do you want to hear more? Do you want to hear more, Kayla? When I start telling you about my sex life, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. But if I fight for the right to tell you about my sex life, and I want to have a parade where I swing it around in public, because I've seen some absolute disgusting displays at these parades of what's coming out now. And again, yes, children are involved. They're there. Did you happen to pull that one picture that I asked you about, Brandon, of the guy who's spread eagle there? You don't want to see this, but you're going to see it because they fought for the right for you to see this. So here's a guy. We got it blocked out. There's a woman holding a toddler, and there's a guy spread eagle with his ass in the air, giblets hanging. I've seen the undone version of this. He's wearing a thong. It's not pretty, but that woman should be in jail by my standards. And thank you to Louis Uredell, who we need to get on the show sometime. He's very insightful. Follow on Twitter and Instagram. But this is his picture that he posted up, or his comment to it. But the woman should be in jail. The child should be in a protective service because this is abuse. And forget the guy squatting over in front of him. So I had someone who said to me, and I'm being very calm with all of this stuff because I was a range of emotions over the weekend with this deal. I had someone who sent me several tweets in response to my thing about the flag. It said, you can't point to one specific instance where the LGBT community has targeted children. And then they went on to say, now you can't include transgender story hour or drag story hour, I should say, drag, whatever, shows for kids. I said, no, you can't tell me what I can and can't include if they're part of the community. I could definitely use that. So you're telling me what I can't use as an example and then telling me I can't make an example. That's bad logic and it's a horrible debate technique, okay? But then I gave several examples, not the least of which, very simply, is a link to the Target department store that has Pride clothing for children. And they said, oh, you're triggered by a T-shirt. No, I'm just telling you, I gave you what you asked for. Does the LGB community, do they ever target children? Yeah, at Target. So that was sort of an easy get right there. But again, I'm the bigot, I'm the homophobe, I'm all these things. No, I'm just telling you, I don't care how you live your life, but I don't even care if you fight for your right to have sex or whatever you want to do. But here's the thing. When you're continually shoving it in people's faces, they get tired of it. You don't want to hear me talk about my sex life. It gets uncomfortable after a while. And what if every time you came over to my house, I said, you sit down, I want to tell you about last night. We're going to, you know what? Let's eat some chicken, and I'm going to tell you about some dicking. How about that? We're going to sit here all night long. You're going to hear more about my sex life and how empowered I feel as a sexual beast. Everybody wants this. After a while, you'd get sick of hearing. You would ignore me. You would marginalize me. You would put me in the corner. You would shadow ban me. You would not want to be around me. You would get sick of my voice because I'm constantly telling you about my sex life. It's the same difference. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with what we're dealing with this. This is Pride Month on steroids. I've never seen anything like this. Here's the problem. No one has a problem with a grassroots movement. If people, just the normal rank and file of civilization, say, hey, we feel marginalized, we feel like there's something that, we need to be recognized for, and we want to speak out about that. Throughout history has actually been changed by grassroots movements. What we're seeing today with this whole community thing is not grassroots anymore. It's being preached to you from the top down. So the president is telling you, and he tweeted this, not him, but whoever his people were, because it came out at 9:30 at night, and he was in bed for 3 hours at that point. But there was a tweet with the flag from the perspective inside the White House looking out towards Washington, D.C., it says, we are now a nation of pride. That is not grassroots. When the president, the leader of the free world, is telling you that you're now forced to be a nation of pride, again, something that has its foundation rooted in sexuality, you should see where there's a problem. That's no longer a grassroots movement. Whenever corporate America is telling you you have to celebrate with every baseball game you go to, with every T-shirt you buy, with every cell phone call you make, you somehow are going to be tied back to the celebration of someone's sexuality. After a while, you get sick of hearing about it because you're being told by the masters how you should accept certain behaviors and lifestyles. And it's like, no, I just want to live my life. I would like to be left alone by you. I don't want you to tell me your value system. I don't need Target department store to tell me their value system. Listen, I don't need to hear Hobby Lobby's Christianity. I don't need to hear Chick-fil-A's, whatever they were, closed on Sunday stuff. I don't care. If you choose to run your business on a value basis, do it. But that's internal. You don't have to make the whole world suck it, okay? Let's use that euphemism. You don't have to do that. So this top-down preaching, this top-down management, it's no longer a grassroots movement. And the American flag, guys, doesn't need qualifiers. It doesn't need qualifiers. Now, flags that have flown at the White House, they many times will put up the POWMIA on the flagpole underneath the American flag. People say, well, they're flying that flag. Yeah, there's a very specific reason why they're doing that. And it's not something that's an antithesis but it's a compliment to the American flag in that it's celebrating those people who sacrificed for the flag above, the American flag. In 1918, the White House flew the Serbian flag. That's a historical fact. And they were doing it in solidarity with Serbia. And if you go and you look at the history of that, there were letters between cabinet members and Congress members and Serbian officials. They took a long time to coordinate this thing, and they did it for a very specific reason. I'll let you go discover the history for yourself. Occasionally, they will fly the flag of the president, which state he's from. So Joe Biden would have the Delaware flag up there. And so there's reasons why they do that. But the American flag doesn't need to be competed with, and it doesn't need to be qualified. So in other words, a pride flag that says, look, we're going to say that now in America, everyone is accepted. You're missing the point of the American flag. The American flag already says everyone is accepted. If you will look up what the field of blue and the stars and the stripes and the red and the white, if you'll look up the meanings of what they stand for, it shows you that everybody is already included. And there's honor in that. That's where you take your pride. That's why we salute the flag. We're proud of it. And we honor it. But the point is, people died for that flag. And more importantly, they died for what that flag represents. To come out there and say, oh no, we've got to qualify that flag with another flag that includes more people is a slap in the face to what you just did over a week ago at Memorial Day. Guys, this isn't about bigotry. It's not. It's not about hate. It's not about intolerance. It's not about not accepting certain people. This is about common sense and just saying, at some point in time, we got to let people just be people, because they're going to be. And they're going to do all kind of crazy things with their life. There's going to be heroes. There's going to be villains. There's going to be good guys. There's going to be bad guys. And it's like we're sitting here trying to make you believe that everything has to be accepted no matter what banner it comes under. And that's simply not true. You don't live your life that way. And I could list numerous examples of the things that you discard from your life. It doesn't mean you hate that person. You just don't like what they do. And whether you approve of it or not, even if you do like what they do, whether you approve of it or not, you don't have to include that person in your life. You can literally exclude people from your life for all types of reasons. But for someone, some taskmaster, overseer, government official, or anybody else, corporate America, to come in and say, you must accept this person, that's a problem. That's a problem. There's no law that tells me I've got to like you. I know some straight people that I like a lot, and I know some straight people that I don't want anything to do with. What does that make me? Am I a heterophobe? You can apply that to any person out there, because ultimately I don't qualify you based on who you're having sex with. I don't give a damn who you're having sex with. That's between you, that person, and God, I guess. I don't know what your worldview is, but hey, that's between you and the person you're having sex with. I don't have to glorify it. I don't have to care about it. And for God's sakes, you don't have to listen to me talk about my sex. Although at some point in time, you probably should, at least once.